Do you know what a foolscap is?
No, I was just wondering that.
Yeah. Those of us over 50 remember foolscap. It was, for those who might not, it's a piece of paper. Okay? A Jester watermark originally made it popular. And this is a few centuries back, and the name's stuck. However, it's just a piece of paper on which you can write. And so write it down. The first thing after waking up and before devotional time, before your coffee or anything like that, write whatever is in your mind, put it down on that foolscap, and that piece of paper, just keep writing. If you're afraid of what spills out, remember the honesty of Job as he poured out his heart before God. He said, after this, Job opened his mouth and cursed the day that he was born. He said, may that night be barren, may no shout of joy be heard in it. It might be that you're struggling with finding forgiveness for yourself or someone else. Put those random, unkind thoughts on a piece of paper. Don't evaluate what you're writing, just scribble it out and forget about sentence structure. Simply put the paper, your thoughts to the paper, and as quickly as you can, and quietly offer it to God. Then tear it up. Don't even bother to reread it. Don't think about it. Just you put it there and leave it there. This action is a tangible step that'll assist you to forget the things that may be unconsciously troubling you. Some research has indicated that placing negative thoughts on a piece of paper, they become concrete. And the act of throwing it away is important because your mind follows your behavior and more readily forgets. The next thing I wrote down was 3 to 5 things. Before coffee, before your devotion, or whatever it may be, depending on the level of your emotional strength, write down 3 to 5 practical, doable things that you can do that day and be thankful for. There may be days in which the greatest achievement that you have is to get out of bed and have a warm shower or a warm bath. That might be the most that you can do, depending on the trauma and the grief that you're dealing with. A phone call, if you're planning to making one, a smile of a friend, or a simple walk around the block. Maybe it's that cappuccino we talked about earlier that gives you some kind of life. Just write down 3 to 5 things that you're looking forward to in that day. And then the posture of breathing. Another helpful hint was the practice of posture and presence accompanied by mindfulness and breathing. There were days while driving to work that all I could think about was the sadness of those that I'd lost. I lost a niece while I was working here. I lost my good friend Don Noble to cancer, and another friend while I was working here at Shepherd Village just a few years ago to brain cancer. And it was really traumatic for me. Those guys were really close, Mark and Dawn and my niece Kristen. And I would drive to work really gloomy, just feeling really immensely sad. And I needed to help my mind get to a better place. So what I would do, and there's a song by Lauren Daigle, which I actually like, and we're going to go hear her concert. It's called Look Up, Child. And I discovered that if I walked toward the workplace or the cafe with my head down, my shoulders hunched, I would feel intensely sad. However, if I threw my shoulders back, lifted my head, and all of a sudden, I'd start to feel encouraged. And sort of like the psalmist said, I lift up my eyes to the hills from whence cometh my help. It's truly remarkable how your mind will follow the motions of your body, and the countenance begins to lift. Lifting my eyes, being conscious of the present, not focused on the future, helped me to know that Jesus was the perfecter of my faith. He was renewing my mind even at that very moment. And I was completely aware of my sadness. I was aware of my sorrow as well in the moment. Nevertheless, the Spirit of Jesus helped me to be revived. We all know that the burden of a day can leave us exhausted. I find it critical to take some time periodically to find a few moments to quiet my mind throughout the day. And then when I'm finishing the day, turning my mind toward gratitude and thanks. Moments throughout the day, find that quiet spot where you can just find something to be grateful for. Maybe it's that chocolate chip cookie that's just there inviting you in. And at the end of the day, as I was about to fall asleep, I would take out a piece of paper and reflect on the 3 to 5 things that I had looked forward to that day. Now, alongside the ones I accomplished, I would write, "Thank you, God." There were some days there was only one. And without judgment, you might have only accomplished one thing, and that's okay. Occasionally, I added to the list. And there are days when some people can't even hardly get out of bed. Getting out of bed is an accomplishment that you can be thankful for when you're dealing with trauma. Be aware and thankful. For me, it was like simple things. Toasted bread with peanut butter and jam. I enjoyed that at that time. It was really simple. Didn't take a lot to make. Stick those 2 pieces of toast in there, push the button down, butter it nicely, put the peanut butter on there and the jam, and then my cappuccino or a coffee. Leading your mind to a place of gratitude is an important way to begin and end the day. And it starts with the simple things. Scientists are discovering that the practice of prayer is powerful, especially if it's focused on meditation, on gratitude. So if you're focused on meditating on a place of gratitude and thanks and appreciation, as opposed to the prayer that says, I want this, I want that, I need you to fix this, I need to fix that. In your prayer and meditation on God, allow your mind to focus on the things that are really simple. And throughout the day, bring your mind back to the place of gratitude and focus. And when I wrote the article here, I finished by saying, the sun is shining through the clouds, and I'm thankful to God for this moment. Not looking at the future, not dwelling on the past, aware, but I'm in the moment. And yes, I've had my cappuccino, my peanut butter and jam. It's a good day.
That's beautiful, Pastor Ron. I'm sure people who are listening to it are going to be so blessed by this, because trauma and grief, so difficult to kind of walk through. And you've given us some really simple steps. And as you were saying, it's just one step, like one small thing that you can do. Yeah.
It was a gift to me. A life coach helping me to navigate and then picking up and moving forward. So thank you. Thank you for allowing me to share.
Thank you, Pastor Ron. It's really been a privilege and an honor to be here with you and just get glimpses of your wisdom. We will be back for our next segment shortly.